Hello everybody, I'm SJM. As I venture further into the Betweenlands here, I feel compelled to get some more strength going, especially as we look forward to venture into this white fortress coming up. I'm hesitant to go there just yet, but I think there are some improvements we can do. I'm continuing to experiment on my gecko. Ooh, I think I finally killed him. Fed him one too many mushrooms, I guess. But that's pretty easy, not too hard to get. We can just grab a net and get another gecko. I find they're easiest to catch when they're in the water, because if you try to get close to them, regularly, they run away. Obviously, you would know that by now if you are playing. The other thing we can do on the quest line here, I've got all the living tools now, I think. I got the sword, axe, pick, shovel. And I've got a spare bone pickaxe for when I need to do some like mass mining of something or other. But then the other one, I don't know if this is actually an upgrade, but I'm going to test it out. But doing some of the Sylvan armor, all of the armor values are exactly the same as the Sermerite, so it's not an improvement that way. But if this stuff mends itself the same way that the living tools do, that'll be an improvement in itself, and might be worth then investing some middle gems into them. Although, if I really wanted to, I could get an animator for repairing armor, but that's we would still need to find a life crystal first, and that would be a lot of spelunking that I don't really want to do just yet. But in JEI, all the elixirs are listed here, but you can't look at any of the recipes there. You do need the book to be able to see. So if I wanted to make a tough skin elixir, it'll tell you about it and what the different effects of putting the different aspects into it are. So it requires all of these aspects. And yeah, if you use more Yaowen, then you get a stronger effect on the elixir. If you use more Selawin, then you get more duration on it, right? So you can control your elixirs that way. So I just need to figure out which ones I want to make, and then strength might be a good one. Healing, obviously. Sagittarius seems interesting because we might be getting to a bow here today as well. So, but for right now, let's go to the Sylvan armor. So it's in the Fey crafting recipes. We need Fey leather, sap tree bark. So you just take your knife and break sap logs and you'll get the sap tree bark. The bone version of the armor piece that you're making, a green dentrithus shard, and a piece of moss. So I've got all those ready to go here. Oh, and obviously I should look out for my swamp or my tar monster friend. Oh, I do have the bone knife on me already. Too easy. Well, let's just test it out. It should only use one each, right? Look at us all flowery and pretty for now. And we've got a little bit horny, I guess, as well. Flowery and horny. Interesting. I do want to keep the mud boots though, because the quality of life those provide is just too good to pass up on. So for now, we'll just put some backup armor up there. Forever increasing the amount of space I'm using up there. So those are 10 slots there. The knife goes there. So that's that. I guess, yeah, in the last episode, I completely neglected to say where I found the pear seeds. Oh yes, I now have a proper farm up there. Well, it's not proper yet, but I've got everything set up. So for the pear seeds, you need to find a giant weedwood tree, and it will pop up automatically on your map, just like the idle heads or the crag rock towers or the spirit trees. And it is found in the marshy biomes, the one that I explored there a couple of episodes back. I just didn't see any in this part of that one there. Although we did find the White Fortress, we didn't quite find the giant tree. But you need to go at least halfway up and you'll find some hangers. They're like the little vine things that are growing down, and then there's little glowing bits on some of them in parts, and you break off that glowy bit and that will get you a pear seed. And then also they obviously, you would really only need one to start as long as you don't mess up the growth. And every time you harvest, you'll get more pear seeds out of it. I do have some spirit herbs going now. So in the quest line, it tells you here to use the runic shears on the white pear when it's fully grown. And just as a warning, you saw how I harvested it there, and it still kept its like third stage or fourth stage of growth there. If you use the shears on it to get the spirit leaf the first time, this goes right back down to the very beginning, like you just planted it. So just, you don't want to be doing that too much, but I took my first spirit leaf and I turned it into a seed, and now I'm growing it here. Ah, that's perfect. So that is poisoned there. You see how the fertilizer is turned green? And basically, if I broke this now, I wouldn't get anything back out of it. But to fix the poison, you just need to grab a piece of sap ball and combine it with a weed wood bucket of swamp water, and you'll get plant tonic. And plant tonic will cure everything in a 5x5. So if you haven't been up here in a while and it managed to spread all over the place, at least you can do, 25 at a time. And I think you get 4 uses out of that bucket of plant tonic. So I need to get a replacement bucket of water now, but that's fine. Unknown. These are from the Fairy Lights mod. I made these orb lanterns. No, I did not. I made the paper lanterns. Yes, these are the ones I made. So 5 paper. You need dye powder. So it'll tell you how to get the different dyes if you just follow your nose through JEI, but it's basically just using a pestle and mortar on some ground item again, and instead of the ground item you'll get dye powder, and I just used white for mine, so white was pretty easy. I just had angler tooth is what I used to make mine. And then what we do, you have to do a craft with that, and it takes the wisps. The wisps are the little glowing things that you can find in the marsh biomes and also on the crag rock tower. You know how we're going up and on the stairs going up to the top, there's all those nice pretty lights on the tops of them. Well, those are all wisps. So if you want an easy way to get a bunch of them, that is the way to go. There is the Crag Rock Tower. Oh, always happy to see a lurker close by, because this is the easiest lurker skin we'll ever get. With these runic shears, I kind of misread the way they work. So you can use the runic shears every 300 seconds on an entity, but it's not limited in the fact that if I sheared him, I've got to wait 5 minutes before I can shear this guy. It's per individual entity. So if you're just running around, you can run around a big swamp area and collect as much lurker skin as you want, easy as you please. It's really kind of broken. I think the cooldown should be for using the shears at all, and not per individual entity. Like if I had 5 harlequin toads here, I could get 5 leather every 5 minutes, right? So that's a little bit broken, the way it works right now, in my opinion, obviously. Put all those items away. We'll put these guys away for now. We'll need shears at the ready. I'm going to put that away for now. And we're going to grab our pheromone thorax. So go down to the caves, find an infestation, snip it with your runic shears, and you get these thoraxes, which we'll use to infest some shrubs. So you've got another sick piece of dirt there, which I've been trying to grow a sap tree, and I've been failing completely. So once I get that figured out, I'll share with y'all. But I've got a good collection of them here, so we take it and we use it on a bush. And it doesn't spread, so only this bush will be taken by them. And then you'll get little particles going around. So when you see these little butterflies or moths or whatever flying around it, this will definitely turn into silkworms. This one looks like we're good to go on that one. That one we're still waiting. This one we're waiting. And this one looks like we'll be good to go on that one. But you do have to stand around and babysit these all the time. You can't, like, I walked away and was doing other stuff and I'd come back to it. You know, obviously sometimes forgetting about it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes at a time. I'd come back here and they'd all be regrown. So you have two options when you start to see the silkworms inside like this here. You can use the shears on it and you will get the actual silkworms, which is this branch right here of the Friends of getting these guys. And then from there, we're going to put them into a moth house. Let's just check here that nothing funky is going on. Well, it looks like we've got all of these good to go here. Kind of sad. So sometimes when, instead of having the orange moths or butterflies particles around the bush, you'll see like the green swirls like we had on this guy here. That means that the pheromone failed, and what you'll end up with is an infestation eventually. And that's where these dead weedwood bushes came from, is when I used the pheromone on it there, then eventually the bush died and I was left with the infestation there, which was actually kind of a boon because then I have the infestation right there, and every 5 minutes I could come and collect another thorax off of it for breeding purposes. We finally ran that one out. I was trying this as an experiment. This worked perfectly for the rain. You didn't need anything overhead of it because the puddle won't form on the block itself. It's only when it comes from the side. So I had all 8 dug out around it, and that one never flooded and managed to grow to maturity. But now the compost has run out, so the entire plant broke, which is fine. So in our moth house, you just come over, you click these guys on there, and it takes a while, but eventually you'll stop seeing them and you'll see the cocoons in there, and you'll end up with silk thread. So if we leave the grubs or the silkworms inside the bush, eventually they will they will cocoon themselves. And when you harvest that, you'll get that other thing that we just saw. I forgot to grab it out of the inventory. You'll get these silk grub cocoons. I need those, thank you. So yeah, that will take a while there. These guys might be failing. Yes, see? See how we've got the green swirls coming off of that? And this one here, so I'll get 2 more dead bushes, which it's not a bad thing because if we silk touch this, we can see there are... oh, I need uses, not recipe. It's used in a ritual. This is for the growth infusion ritual as well. And could always compost it as a last resort, but usually don't need to do that. There we go. Yeah, so this is all a very manual process for now. But I am on my way to figuring out, just waiting until we had enough silk to do the silk bundle. We needed 5 silk threads for that. I have enough now, actually. Then we need to make the liquid pheromones. I'm not 100% sure how to do that just yet, but then we can get this grub hub. And basically, if you put this grub hub over top of a 3x3 area of bushes, so basically you'll have 9 bushes in a 3x3, place this over top of the middle block, and this will automatically harvest and infest all of the bushes for us. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And automating this silk process because this is it's a little bit painful. Yes, our guys are in there, and there we've got 2 more silk grub cocoons, and basically the only use for these guys is to turn them into the silk threads. So I'm now up to 10. A couple of uses for these threads is making the fishing rods, make a silky pebble. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm getting ready to try. As soon as I've got enough of it, we can make the silk mesh strainer for our water filter. Obviously the silk bundle that we looked at a second ago, and then the road to thread is 3 silk threads on a spindle, which is basic. I think I showed that before. And then once you have the silk bundle, you need to put it on another spindle, and that will turn those 3 into string. then I'm looking forward to getting this canteen as well, because then we get one item that'll give us 4 uses of water rather than each of these clean water bottles which only give us 1 use of water. It's not, you know, you only get 2 drops of water from the canteen, but it will take up less space, right? Oh yeah, this guy succeeded and we've harvested already. So yeah, I've got 3 more pheromone thoraxes that I can use. And these will, once it starts to rain, that will wash away the infestation. So these aren't here forever if you're not a pacifist and that happens to you. But obviously if you saw the green swirls, you'd probably shear the bush and make sure that they don't actually end up spawning, because then they'd come attack after you and they're a pain in the butt for attacking. So yeah, as a pacifist, they don't bother me at all in the slightest, so that's a good thing there. All right. What other? Yeah, I was just going down, just working on elixirs, working on the silk line for now, because I want that thing. Also bees. So I had the 2 bees from before, and then the next step was to make the bee hive, the bee box, which takes tarred boards. And the tarred boards are pretty simple. You just have to use a sawmill. And because I have the octene sawmill blade, each planks will give me 2 boards. To get the planks is a little bit of a pain, because you had to get tar and over the campfire in the soaking pot, and it took a long time for them to go. Got a little bit of tar left in there, but I did a few recipes of it just so that I had extra tarred planks for other things. There was, you know, mechanical compactors and mulchers, and the bellows. So I can take the bellows that I got there and make it mechanical now, that I've got a good amount of tarred wood. I just need, I think I need a little bit more progression. I think I need to get into embers before we can properly automate it, but that would speed up even the processing a lot better even. I've been collecting lots of these runic things out in the world. So the mystic wings from the dragonflies, the ooze from the frogs, spores from the little sporelings. Just running around close by home here, there's just the one entity that I haven't been able to shear yet, and that's these guys. I've only seen them once in my whole playthrough, and that was on my way back from the super large wildwood tree that I got the pear seeds from. I don't even know what we use. Oh, if you can animate the root pod to give you a root sprite around your base. And then obviously the crab pot filter, which is something I'm not doing just yet because that's along the fishing quest line. The crab pot's down there at the end of that one, but I might not mind it because it's got this amphibious gear here, and it would be interesting to say because you can strengthen with some fish parts on your gear, and I'm wondering if I can get something that would reduce the corruption loss or the corruption gain, as it were, while swimming. Because if I could swim really fast and not get corrupted, and possibly maybe even breathe underwater a little bit longer, that would go a long way to helping with a couple of things. Obviously spearfishing would be one of them, but the more important thing would be looking for more middle gems. So I'm still pretty limited in the number that I have. I've got a few, but not a lot by any stretch of the imagination. I just sidetracked myself. It's because I'm still working on some more simmerite here. So being right in this corner here with the water, I never catch fire permanently anymore, and there's only like 5 or 6 spots where the fires can actually start. So I think this is the ideal setup for it. And as you see here, the one simmerite anvil has lasted me the whole time. These don't break like the limestone ones. That should be enough. Let's get one more, 63. So we can get 7 ingots made out of it. And I just wanted to show you this handy thing. So you can bulk stack these by crouching and right clicking. And if you crouch and left click, you will take down the whole entire stack. So just be careful doing that. But rather than putting them down one by one, you can crouch and grab or place as many as you want. So that's a handy little trick there. I'm just going to do this while I think about more quality of life things that I've discovered during my playthrough. So bear with me. I'll think of that, and we'll be back to close out the episode. All right. I finally got spirit herbs, and I got 2 of them, so that's super cool now. Oh yeah, we wanted to check out the bees. So the 2 bees grew up to 8, and then once you have 8 bees in there, they'll start producing honeycombs. And they also multiply your flowers. So I only started with like 7 or 8 flowers kicking around this guy, and they just keep growing and growing and growing. And truth be told, I originally had flowering nettle here. And when it started expanding, I'm like, nope, that's gotta go. We can't have that kicking around the base here. So we got rid of that. So I guess I'm gonna work our way towards the radiant resonator here, the wildwood log. We need to do this pyre ritual. It takes 3 bark, a spirit herb, and a wild root, and we have to do that with a fully grown wild root crop nearby. So I planted this a while ago, and it actually rained in the interim, and this didn't disappear. So I don't know if I got lucky or if all these plants surrounding this what's this thing called? Grovestone. Help protect it or not, but not going to question it, but we can just move forward with this ritual. And then the other one is we wanted to do the wildwood bow. So we'll need a weedwood bow, which is super simple. And 2 wildwood bark, so we'll have to grow that tree first. We need a terra moss. 3 bark. Just one of those. Okay. Those. 3 bark for that one. I did end up putting a silk strainer on this guy because I wanted to see if that's going to change the drops that we get out of here. But our barrel's almost full of water now, so that's it's going to have a limited use for now. What am I forgetting? Got everything there. Oh, the bow. Need the bow itself. Yes, I do. That'll work. Need one of these. 3 of those. Not this guy. I need the ritual first. 1 of those. 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's it. That's everything. And of course it's a pyre ritual, so we'll need to light that on fire. And I don't have anything above it. Weedwood bark works. A wild root. I've got the fully grown wild root crop. And we got a 10 by 10 size to have this in it, so I'm inside that. Weedwood bark, it's on the list. One has to be a giant root bark. Figured it out eventually. The only downside to refilling those bottles is you go into the GUI every time. I've got a giant root right here, but I think I've got a giant root bark already there, so. Oops, we need 2 of those and 1 of those. Okay, there we go. That should be the ritual. There we go, that's what we want to see. Light that guy on fire, and 15 seconds later we should get a wild wood tree here. Awesome. Ah, we got 4 off of the first one. That's excellent. The rest I will take. As the logs. Those leaves take quite a while to break. All right, I'll figure all that out later. We don't need to do that on camera. Two bark, moss, and a spirit herb. Excellent. Because we've been getting all kinds of fun arrows from the adventuring that we've been doing, I think this is a perfect timing. We have all these arrows down here, like octane arrows. I think these light things on fire. Angler tooth arrows. I think these are just your standard arrow. Now we've got a ranged weapon to help us in our adventures. there anything to shoot? Yep. No test subjects, and it's dark, so I don't want to look around that too much, but we'll probably get that shown off in the next episode. Hopefully, I get the elixirs figured out, and the next episode will be the White Fortress. So looking forward to progressing through here. Pretty much ready to do this quest line here, but I need to get the spells figured out there, so maybe that'll be a part of the White Fortress episode, but this resonator is not until after we get embers anyways, because we need to get the knowledge of malice, which comes with finishing the White Fortress, and that'll open up the embers mod for us. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate, oh yeah, logs can't go in there, and this guy is full from tearing down that tree to make my garden up there. I'll figure that out later. Anyways, I appreciate you all for checking out the episode. I hope you are enjoying this pack as much as I am, and we will see you in the next one.